Hey there, Outliers. Niiamah Shang here, and thank you so much for letting me be a part of your journey. And I say me, but I really do mean us because we are here for an Outliers Edge roundtable where we bring together extraordinary leaders, business owners, and just people who have chosen to take the thing about them that makes them ordinary and just do it a little extra on behalf of those that they serve. So today we have four incredible outliers that are going to share with us how they take who they are and continue to step up to higher and higher heights and to level themselves up as it goes along. We are going to, I'd like you for you to get to know them and the game that they're playing. So why don't we go ahead and start off with Joe and then we'll go to Ankita.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for having me on. I appreciate that. So, I run JB Motivation LLC, and I also host the Uncrowned podcast. And JB Motivation comes from my user tag, but the Uncrowned comes from the community of men that I've been able to cultivate because it is about men's mental health and lifestyle, and the community and the brotherhood in which that we all represent. It's been truly an honor to be able to help and watch all the men that have, young men and old men, I should say, to be able to grow on this journey together. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for doing the work that you're doing right now. Ankita, and then we'll go to Brown.
Hi, I'm Ankita. I'm a host of Soltis podcast with Ankita Juneja, where I share about life, mental health, self-help, and I'm also an architect by profession. So I bring that fusion whatever I go through as a challenge in entrepreneurship journey. And I just share my life experiences in this podcast. And I just love to bring all members together and build this community. So this is what Soltis podcast is all about. I'm glad to be part of this Outlier Edge community. And thanks, Nema, for having me. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. I love the juxtaposition. Like I'm also an architect on top of all these things here, right?
Yeah.
This is it, Outliers. You know when we're in good shape, when you're in good company here, right? Things just keep
Yeah.
flowing. All right, we'll go
Thank
to Brown, then we'll go to Somi.
All right. So thank you, Niiamah, for this privilege. I'm Brown. Call me Brown, and I'm from Nigeria. I am a media entrepreneur with running, starting up a TV startup, and as well, I run a podcast, the Brown Mike channel. Basically, what I'm interested in is being a ladder for others, and with all the things I do, I try to position myself as a ladder for others to give them the platform to achieve greatness. So indeed a pleasure to be here, to be a source of a ladder for others, to gain personal development and also leadership development, which is very important. Thank you.
Thank you, Brown. Thank you. All right, Somi, bring us home.
Hi, Nema. Thank you so much for having me to this Outlier Search podcast. And I'm really grateful to be here with so awesome people. So I'm Somi and I run an SEO agency. I'm an SEO expert as well. So I started freelancing it at like very young age. And I did like many podcasts, including one of which was You're Wrong About. So here I'll just talk about basic life, no business stuff, just normal business stuff, normal like normal life. Yeah. And yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Well, I'm glad each and every one of you are here. I'm excited to see where the conversation goes. Today, I want to be in the frame of mind of leveling up. All right, and leveling up for me is something that goes and says, um, when you're choosing to play a game that's bigger than what you've done before, how have you gone about navigating that? All right. And I think I want to put in a little bit of a distinction. And the distinction here is one element is just doing more of what you've been doing. Kind of, I consider that almost like moving forward. And another one is like, oh, actually like increasing the echelon at which you choose to play. So keep that in mind as I ask this question here. As you all have leveled up in the past, or maybe you're going through it right now, what is a belief that you had coming into the work you're doing that has had to level up with you, or you've had to even you've had to let go in order to level up as you've gone along, right? What's a belief that you've had to like upgrade in order for you to actually get to whatever the next level is, as opposed to continue to play the way you had before? All right. In this one here, I actually do want to hear from everyone, so I'm going to use the same order in which we introduce ourselves. We'll go to Joe and then Ankita. So Joe, why don't you start?
So I think it's funny how you introduced that by what have we done more to get to that next level. I just got done listening to the RMP Strength podcast with Dr. Mike Israetel, where they talk about actually doing less, right? And it's funny because on this new journey, I just got done with a bodybuilding show a few months ago now, so I'm getting into my off season, and I'm going to do more by doing less. An idea of I need to rest more so that I can do more in the period of time in which that I'm given. Because if we're constantly doing more and going and going and going, well, not only does our mind but our body, they both need a break, and our bodies will give us cues and signals in which that we need to do so. But before, I need to do something all of the time, every day, all day, and that's only gotten me up to a certain point. Be like, no, I need to rest in order to perform in which the level that I need to perform, or even higher in the ways that I wish to perform. I need to be able to dial back, understand the purposeful rest and the importance of deliberate rest in order to, when I'm on, I'm on. I can give that 100% instead of always giving 70, which when you're stressed out, that's the most you could probably give. And you feel like you're giving it all. But then you take a moment and you take a step back and you rest. Now you can hit 100 more times than you were even hitting 70. So in the grand scheme of things, you are going further by also doing less. So that's kind of my focus.
Well, Joe, a part of me thinks you watched that episode just to come and help me out here because I'm hearing that and I'm like, oh, I think it might be time to slow down and speed up here. That's what one of my mentors says. And then another thing that's come to mind is there's a great peer coach that I know. His name's Matt Chablovich, and he coined the phrase, "Rest day is a training day too." Rest day is a training day, and that's what I feel like I'm hearing here. So Outliers, just gonna bring that in here, that space of rest. Thank you, Joe, for letting us know about that belief that got uploaded. We'll go to Ankita and then Brown.
The biggest belief that I felt like I have to let go of was putting myself out there and just connecting with other people. And also, as I told you, like I'm an architect. So this was altogether a different journey for me where I was pivoting, I was trying. And this was like a new experience for me where I started this podcast. And I also have a YouTube channel named with Ankita Juneja itself. So it was a lot which I was, breaking my barriers and I was putting myself out there, connecting with others, sharing my stories, but also having a balance of like the work and doing this simultaneously. So I was just giving myself this space to be like, yes, I can manage and I can just do this. And also prioritizing my health and everything. So this was the thing I just take it into consideration. So yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Brown?
All right. So basically, what I was able to give up and do, I think I did that to gain more, to give more. So I began to, gain so much with learning. I did a lot, well, I still do. We can't stop learning, but it's something that I've done over time. Keep learning. Which was it was just the bedrock of everything. Learning, trying to gain more because I know if I don't have what I don't have, I can give. So that's where it started.
All right. Thank you. And Somi.
Okay, so my story is kind of a little different because in my family we consider like business and this entrepreneurship and all this podcast stuff as like third quality. I think I guess Ankita can relate because it's a typical Indian family, and we always focus on government jobs and stuff. So I was kind of skeptical about being out of the closet and telling this to my parents that I really love business and all. So actually, I started very young. When I started, when I guess I was like 12 or something. So I started freelancing and writing content. So I have been freelancing and I'm into this business stuff like for from a very long time. So recently, I just came out of my closet and I just said to my parents that this is something that I wanted to do because this is something that I have been doing from like a very long time. But I just came out and I just did that, and I'm really loving it, and everything is just going great.
Awesome. Like, let's go ahead and play here because I know I remember when I went from I used to be an actuarial consultant at one of like the large consulting firms out there, and making the move into entrepreneurship, starting a podcast, all that stuff. I do know like the elements of the, how do I say it, the pool of those that are around you. And so let's talk a little bit about that here. I'm curious, as you all, Ankita, you talked about like visibility, and I want to go down the path of visibility here and like leveling up in your visibility. As you all have stepped into higher and higher levels of your own visibility, of choosing to like be out there more, like lead your own platforms and such. How have you navigated like the way that people used to perceive you, and how they perceive you now, or what you thought they would perceive you as? Well, a lot of outliers out there that worry about, like, well, if people really knew what I was doing, I would no longer be like accepted, or would no longer be a part of this group. So I'm curious here, and I'll open it up to anyone here. Does anyone feel called to talk about that as they've continued to level up their visibility?
So if I can pitch in here, when I first started everything, it was during all the COVID stuff, when everything was on lockdown. I taught myself how to build a website and make videos, and back when TikTok was just turning into TikTok from Musically and all that, and I started building my following. Well, then I started getting clients for coaching. Okay, awesome. I started coming out with my podcast. That was a big hit. Okay, then I came up with merch. That flew off. And my father, very blue collar, very go to college, get a job, get married, the whole rat race, spin the wheel, all that stuff. He just kept ragging on me, just ragging on. What are you doing? You need a job. You need this. You need to do this. You need to do this. Meanwhile, he had no idea all the work I was putting in on the outside, and especially all the money or the influence of positivity I was projecting, bringing in, putting out, all of that stuff. During this journey, people are not gonna believe you in the beginning, right? But it's that when no one else roots for you, you got to root for yourself. As cliche as it sounds, that's kind of how it is. It's a saying for a reason, and you just have to dig deep. I call myself Mr. Motivation because I'm supposed to get you started. That discipline is supposed to be on you because I can't do that work for you. So I'll help you motivated, but then you got to stick with the discipline. And the people that are able to stick with the discipline, especially when it's podcasting, it's our face, it's our voice. We have to be the one. They're looking for us. They're looking for you. We have to be the ones that show up every day. No one else. So if you're the one doing the work, maybe you have a team around you. Besides that, who else matters? Nothing. Keep doing what you got to do. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Like, yeah, that I'm smiling hearing what you said. I actually just had a conversation with another outlier who was like in a very similar place, but they're like, I know I'm doing great things out in the world, but like when I go home, like this is the reactions that I have. It doesn't matter. Like, even the things I'm doing outside, it can actually be really seen or valued in the same way. So I'm glad you brought that into this conversation, Joe. Thank you. Ankita, looks like you have something to bring in, so please.
Yeah. I think initially when I started, it was just me and couple of my friends who know about my journey. As I progress in this journey, that's how, I gain confidence to show like what I'm talking is real. And the biggest change that I've seen is when people started commenting and sharing, like there is a difference I'm creating, and it is helping them, like whatever I was sharing about. So I think that gained more of a confidence, and that has helped me to, keep going on with this journey. Still, like there are things, because this is so uncertain and this is like, okay, there is no life out of it. But I feel as you progress in the journey, as you see the evidence, like yes, whatever you're doing, it is making sense. I think that is what just keeps you going. But yeah, this life definitely has a challenge, especially when you're doing podcast or YouTube or something like that. But it's just you have to believe in yourself, and you just have to listen to your gut feeling or intuition and just keep going with it. Because eventually when that things become bigger, that's how people just start seeing and appreciating whatever you're doing. But initially it's a challenge for sure, and still face that for sure. So yeah. Thanks. Can't hear you.
Yeah, no, I was playing around with the mute there. So Outliers, like
Okay.
as you were talking there, Ankita, what was getting, it was really flowing through me. It's like, hey, if you're feeling that, like, if you're in the challenge of being out there on your own, know that we see you. Know that you're not alone in this. We do see you in it, even though we can't actually see you. We feel you. We've been there, and we know that, like, what comes on the other side, whether there's pivots, whether there's changes, stay in the game. Let's keep going. Brown, I'm going to come
Thank
to
you. I
you.
appreciate.
Definitely, Ankita. Like, I'm going to come to you, Brown. I have a different question for you, because you're a media entrepreneur. You have the TV startup, and you're a ladder for others. And what I want to stay on the lens of visibility. Um,
Yeah.
I'm curious for you, like, so I have a distinction. I like to think about like the different levels of visibility. A lot of people come and they say, I want to be more visible. And a lot of times that goes to the first level order, which is like, can I get more views? Do I get more followers? Do I get more subscribers? Do I get more downloads? Right. Um, then there's another level of visibility, which I consider like the second and beyond, which is like, can you actually still remain true to yourself? Can you be seen as you? Can you can that part come in, right? So given like what you do as a media entrepreneur, I'm sure that you've handled the first level stuff, right? Getting people to
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
come and see it. I'm curious if you can speak to
Yeah.
then like like how you navigate stepping into that second level of like actually being able to be seen, like being able to be authentic, and any kind of challenges or any kind of thought processes you've used to uh continue to reach higher.
Okay, so the truth of the matter is that whatever you're building will always have a part of you, no matter what it is. So for my case, my startup itself, it came from a passion. I'm trying to build a channel, a comedy channel, by the way, and majorly from the passion of making people laugh, mental health, which is my basic, because I know there's a lot of mental health issues, that have been seen around, and I just want to address it with laughter, comedy, and all that. So I'm building a channel like that. So in doing all that, I'm still myself. I'm still myself. In fact, I can't do what I'm doing if I'm still not I just have to still be myself. No matter what I, the level I get to, I still have to be myself. So you just need to have that consciousness yourself intentionally that you still have to be yourself. You can't just be playing two roles. You just have to show some way, somehow that you're still yourself. Even when the things start coming, whatever you're looking for start coming, just still keep have this time where you still come back to the reason why you started what you started. I think that is even where it's all. Why did you start what you started? So I think that's been even my own my own pursuit. I know why I started what I started, and I've stayed to that. Even to this level I am, I still believe, I still ask myself, I still go back to the drawing board. Why did I start what I started? So I think that's just what keeps you.
Yeah, thank you for that. So, I mean, I want to come to you now. I've gone around now twice, so the next time around, I'm going to flip it over there. But I want to come to you here. What's This is actually an open-ended question to you. Just based on some of the things that you're hearing, what's some of the things that like strike you? What are some of the thoughts that you're having as you're listening to the conversation as you're participating in it?
Okay, so about this conversation,
Yeah.
no, just like it's my, I guess, third or fourth like appearance in any podcast. So I
Mm.
guess I don't have any. I'm just I'm just judging you guys, like seeing. I'm just enjoying it, talking with you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love when these kind of things happen because like there's a lot of unexpected benefits of being here. One of the
Yeah.
things about me is that like I love to just be like I call it a sandbox. Like come
Mhm.
on in, come play, come expand, right? And one of the things I like to bring in is like people like, who would want to ever hear what I have to say? I'm like, well, come on my podcast and come and find out. Like let's just get you past whatever place you think you're at. So let's bring this in here. And what I want to do is like I just want to have this be an open conversation right now. All right. So y'all can just play with it. This is a new format for me. This is the first time I'm bringing in this part of the format, but I think it'd be fun to be, and we should do it more often. Um, I would love to hear from you all about like two things. One, like share like what's the hardest thing that you're working through right now in your business or in your podcast. What's the hardest thing that you're working through right now? And then just talk about like the process, like how you guys navigate hard things, right? And I'm just gonna like in for a bit here, I'm not gonna like call on anyone, right? I'm gonna actually just let y'all talk for a bit. I might even come and join you in the conversation as well. But I'd like to open it up there and just we'll play it from there. Does anyone feel called to get us started on that? And then
Yeah, I'd
yeah,
say
Somi.
I'll go. Okay. So the hardest thing that I have been facing personally is content creation. And it's not in terms of podcasts because hey, literally who sees you on podcast until you're not doing a video one. So you just have to say it and just speak. That's not a problem. But for me, actually, I really need to expand my presence on Instagram and like other video platform as well, like YouTube Shorts. So for me, that is really a problem because every time when I start, I get demotivated because I don't know, Instagram algorithm, it just hates me or something because I have been trying like for like past 1 year, but what happens is I lack consistency. Okay, so I start a new Instagram handle and I go a little bit up and then I just stop. And it's not like that I personally stop, but there are some circumstances that just force me to stop because there are some client works, and in my industry you really cannot just rely on people because they just keep coming your joining your organization and they just leave. So I have this problem like with people around me with my team, and just that is just affecting my content creation part. Yeah, and also like I have had like say 8 9 Instagram accounts. Even one of my personal Instagram account has like 17,000 followers. And again, I had to stop it because I just you know there are like 24 hours in one day, so you just cannot do everything on your own. And yeah, I do lack like consistency and a good team, so that's on me, that's not on algorithm.
I will say, especially now, it's really hard to find the time. Um, so over here in America, I mean, I work for myself. I also have another job. I'm the head of a household. I'm a husband. I'm a father. And then I had to slow this down because it's really hard to create content when you're in bodybuilding prep because you're brain dead. So you're busy, and I'm a full time student, and it's just a lot, right? When your body's so stressed and you lack that creativity, and referring back to my old point, that's when you know you need rest. And so this time around, how I'm going to try to overcome that to reach that level of consistency and creativity is one, try not to do everything by myself, right? So bring in podcast guests and then batch my content, right? So I'll set around X amount of time per week. That's where I make all my content, and then I'll edit, and then I'll schedule out all my posts. That way, I'm not feeling like I have to come up with something every single day, right? Because there's some days you're just not feeling it, or there's some days I'm in my car recording with you guys because I immediately have to go home and do schoolwork. So this is the only time I have for that. So sometimes you literally don't even have the time. Like you said, there's only 24 hours in the day. So when we're trying to achieve a level of which that no one really feels like they're able to or even put in the work to want to, we have to do things that others aren't willing to do.
Right. And like when I actually began, then there was like one more problem because I used to get a lot of hate comments because when you do something, you also attract, you also attract people whom you don't want in your life. So there were like a lot of hate comments like, what are you doing? Why when you're wearing this cap? And why are you doing this? Why are you talking shit? So like that. So does that happen with you as well?
Oh, you found the internet, or I guess the internet found you. I I'm permanently banned on Facebook Business
Oh,
for all accounts permanently.
oh,
I've had one TikTok account taken down, one Instagram account taken down. I currently have a multitude of flags on my current TikTok, so I might have to start a new one. Yeah, I've been canceled, banned, hate talked, death threatened, all of the above.
oh my God.
So you just have to let it roll off your shoulders.
Right.
I'll get that. I saw you were going to say something. I'm curious.
Yeah, I think, sorry, I think this is a part of process when you're out there and you're sharing something, the hate and all this just comes. You just have to ignore it. That's the best thing you can do. And when it comes to like, overcoming this, just be consistent because that is the thing that is going to help you. Have some discipline and just know why you even started so that you will be consistent and you will feel motivated to like, keep going despite whatever comes your way, because I think when you are online and when you're sharing it out there, this is just like that will always be there. It's just up to you how you navigate and how you see things. So that will be helpful, I guess. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, just to add, I think one of the major problems most of us have is the problem of consistency. Most of us is consistency, and I think there's a way around it. First of all, you need to have accountability partners, people that are accountable to what you're doing, because what you don't know is that when you are not creating, there's someone looking for what you create, whether you know it or not. Uh, let me look for something. Maybe someone is looking for something that you creating, but because you are not creating as consistent as you should, they will not get it. So I think what you should do is get accountability partners. Um, then this is what I do, right? So I create content majorly on TikTok for now, and what I do is I have a lot of content I've created in my spare time because I'm also busy. Right now, I've been between states for the past couple of days. So what I did was I've created contents and put it out there, just kept it there somewhere in a drive. So when I need them, I just repost. So pick out a time, just set a time and say, oh, this is the time I'm going to use to create content because this is business for you in a way. To me, that's the way I see it sometimes. To me, even if it's not giving me monetary gain, it's giving me something. The fact that I am serving humanity to me is a profit to me. So I have to create time for that business, no matter what it is. So even if it is just 1 hour, I have to create that 1 hour for so I think that's one of the things. Well, number one, accountability partners, and secondly, so in my own case, I think one of the problems I've been facing, setting up a TV startup has just been the finances to do that. It's just not been easy. The funds to do that, it's not really been easy, but I know one way or the other I'm going to get there. Recently I just had to do some pitch to some investors recently, and I'm hoping that some way, somehow, someone will pick interest. So the thing is, we just keep doing it. We just keep doing it. If you don't stay at it, no one will celebrate it eventually. So stay at it, no matter what. Just stay at it. Nobody is in your journey. You are the one on your journey. So keep running, keep
Yeah.
running. I think that.
Now you got me thinking about consistency because like I know it shows up for me and for others out there. Like curious, like what are some things you do to like just make it as easy as possible or as likely as possible? Let's maybe put it that way. Make it as likely as possible to go ahead and be consistent. I know for me, I don't edit at all. My first time I ever edited, like it took me like 4 hours and I was going in between people's like voices because I had a bad internet and I was like trying to clip things through. And the like just the process of having to edit like cut me out of the game. I'm curious what you all have done to be able to like make things just work for you. Joe, I see you like you're like I can do it in the car now. Like, so I'm curious about like some of the things you play. How can I see you? And then let's just keep going around.
I think for me, what really worked is showing yourself authentically, because for when I show myself authentically, I don't have to think so much like how I'm coming across or how someone is perceiving me or something like that. So I think authenticity has really worked. And whenever I talk either on podcast or YouTube, I just try to help with my experiences, being like, okay, these are the challenges I have gone through, and these are the things that has helped me to overcome. So that way I'm always curious to share like life experiences or something, because I know it will help someone and it will resonate with the other person. So I think that has really helped me to be curious and help and just show authentically, because of that reason I'm always excited, like, okay, what will be my next podcast be about, or my video will be about. So these two things has really helped me to keep going with, like, and just show always. Yeah. And that's how I've always been consistent with it. So yeah, this was my thing. Thanks.
Niiamah, can I add to this? Can I add to
Oh yeah, yeah.
can I add
This is open session right now.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go
So,
with it.
I think one of the things I've done yesterday, just yesterday, I was having a chat with a friend, and then she was telling me because there's a community I created, and then she said that she was just saying thank you for your consistency, and I laughed. I said, "It's not me. I'm not even the person. The actual reason is because I've created a system around it, right? So, I have someone like a community manager, you know, I don't pay her. That's the amazing thing. I don't pay her. I just, I just ask for help. Can you help me out, to create something, just something little? And when I have the funds to pay, to give, to send us one or two, to send us stipends, I am able to do that. Well, I didn't really. She just saw it from a place of helping. So, because I know there will be a time I'll be able to pay her, but she has been able to help me keep the system in place. So I think creating a system around whatever you're doing is good. And system to me is utilizing people's strengths, the strength of others. I think that's one of the things that has really helped me, utilizing the strength of others. There are some persons that they don't. For you, you might not be a content creation person, but there's someone around you that loves creating content. The person loves creating content. Why don't you do some kind of a collaboration with that person? So there's someone that loves to do some designs. Oh, I don't like designing. Okay, can you help me design this? Or can you keep on designing? So you just keep tabs with how far have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this today? Have you done this week? So I think that helps you to create a system around whatever you're building, and you stay consistent. I think that's the way, because if you're looking at just yourself, I don't think you'll be able to keep up with, the world is moving faster than we can imagine.
How do y'all feel about like being able to bring on other people? Some of you were talking about team earlier. Like I'm curious about how that lines up for you. So actually, what I heard is creating a system. I heard two things. I heard system, and also heard collaborating with others. Right. So one of it being like the system itself, and then also like having more than just you being involved in it. Curious for some of you if anything's popping off for you or any others.
Yep, I will come to that. But like first, I would really like to give an example. So if me and Ankita, we both started something in the same industry. So you know what? Like we have the kind of society right now where Ankita is going to get more views, more likes, and more followers really fast, whereas me, I'm going to get less, attention, because I have I have got this. I like understood this from when I posted videos. So when I actually posted videos with my sister, that videos only got like really cool, like they got like on average 50,000 to 100,000 views, but the videos that I posted on my own got like few thousand views only. So that is kind of thing. And now coming to your stuff, like about
And
team
this
team
and this is something like just to check in, like it's something that like you tested where it's like how we're going to say the same thing. We're going to have like two people in it versus not.
no, I actually tested it. So what happened is, like, I also have a friend, like she is a woman, and like she is just posting her gym videos, like she's just posting her fitness and gym videos. So she got like 20,000 followers in just first week. 20,000 followers in just first week. So it's just kind of society, like they just want to see women, it's like, and because I don't know what's the stuff, or like it's about the algorithm or something. It's, I guess it's about society, because they think that, hey, if a girl is doing that thing, then it's going to be like, oh my god, she's doing so much stuff.
Well,
And
now I'm curious. I'm curious about other people's experience with this here. Like 'cause I'm getting it. Like I'm seeing how this is your experience here. I'm curious about other people's experiences. That like, would you say like Ankita, would you like does it feel to be true? Like, and I like this because in there because my former job was working as an actuarial retirement consultant, and as a result of that, like I spent a lot of time creating financial assumptions to project out liabilities into the future. So I always like to see like what is actually what's an assumption, what's a belief, and what's a truth. So I'm kind of hearing here. I see that you have some data to support it from your experience. So I mean, I'm also really curious like other people's experiences with this here, and maybe that can help open up some things. Maybe there's some things that like are being done that you're not able to see, and I wanted to check in on that. So does anyone else have anything on here where they've had like either a different experience or like a cooperating experience?
So I would kind of like to chime in just because I work in like a very specific niche in terms of I focus on men. So obviously I'm not really talking to the other side, the female side, but they love to comment on my stuff. And there's a very big duality when it comes to social media versus the content that men consume versus the content that women can consume. And I've been able to grow my space up so large, but I was one of the first people to do it. There wasn't really a lot of men's mental health or help or groups or whatever like that back when I was doing it or when I first came up with everything. But the amount of women's spaces that there were in order for like, we'll support you, we'll help you, whatever. But I was always the one getting flagged. They could hate on men all day long. I don't need no man, independent woman, all this stuff. Great for you. Not for me, but great for you. You're doing your thing. It's working. Awesome. But no one ever got any scrutiny for that. But the moment I say, we need to start holding each other accountable, start getting better, whatever. Oh my gosh, the hate comments I got on that, and it was harder for me to grow or push through that ceiling. Maybe it's because I'm not superficial. I really dive deep. I make you think. I make you use your head. There's a level of accountability and work that has to be put in, and that's not where I guess we're headed in society. I could be wrong, but that's just from what I've seen. And on the other side, it's very love who you are, body positivity, accept everything about you because there's nothing wrong ever. And I'm over here like, no, you should always be improving in some way, shape, or form. Like the message that men hear versus the message that women hear clash very differently.
Interesting. Interesting. All right. That's I appreciate this here. I'm like, and you'll find with me, like I like to give space for things. Like um there was a time where I was leading conversations that I was just I specifically thought would be like be controversial in it because I want to be able to get like different thoughts, different opinions into the mix. Like my experience hasn't been what y'all have described, you know. I do like to keep looking at things and seeing like, all right, how does it keep shaping up for people, and how does it keep expanding? Um, we're about to start wrapping up the conversation. I want to make sure we have like some ease in the wrap up here. Brown, Ankita, anything that's showing up for you in terms of visibility or consistency, collaboration, like systems, anything that's showing up for you all before we wrap up this part of the conversation? No? All right, cool. I'm feeling pretty good here. So what we'll do now then is I want to make sure that we get a chance to wrap up our conversation cleanly. And the way that we'll do it here is we'll go around and we'll share with everyone an insight that you had from this conversation. And the insight might be that I had no insights. And then let us know how we can go deeper down the journey with you. And outliers, if any part of this conversation has struck you, let me know. And then also share this with a friend. Just find one person and share it with them. I think that just like it's just I found that it just makes it's a more powerful invitation than just putting it out on social. Feel free to, but there's something there about like saying, "Okay, I heard this and I was thinking about you in particular." So I'd like to make sure we get a chance to close this space down by sharing an insight that you got from the conversation, as well as how people can continue down the journey with you. Ankita, would you like to start us off?
Yeah, it was a nice experience. Got to know what other people are doing, what are the challenges they are facing, and what the common thing which we all go through being out there, sharing our story and trying to do something different. So there was a common thing which I found, like we all have this thing, like how we are just, coming across and what are the challenges we are going through. This is like a common journey which we all are into, and it just makes you feel more easy and comfortable when you see like you're not alone in this. Other people are just like you. We all are just trying to sail through it and just see like how we can make the journey smoother. So it was nice interaction. Thanks, Nima, for giving me this opportunity. It was lovely to be part of this. So yeah, thank you, I appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. And how can we continue down the journey with you? How can we go deeper with you?
You can connect with me on like Soltis podcast, and you have like my email and all the details I've shared with you. So yeah, we can just be connected from that. And yeah, you can find me in Ankita Juneja, as you can see in the screen itself. So that's my handle too. Yeah.
Perfect. 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 Somi, how about we
Thank
come
you.
to you? Thank you, Ankita. Somi, how about we come to you? What's an insight you got from this conversation, and how can Outliers continue down the road with you?
Well, whenever you connect with people across your industry, or maybe away, like not from an industry, you always get something. You always get something new. Okay, so it's like you cannot count the value. It's unvaluable. Okay, you cannot value it. So yeah, I got a lot to learn about like you people. And I really love listening to your insights on different stuff and different topics. So yeah.
Thank you. And if someone wanted to continue down the path with you, how would they go and do that?
Sorry.
How do people can stay in contact with you?
Oh, people can stay in contact. Like you guys can connect me through over LinkedIn and over Instagram, where I struggle the most. So yeah, you also have my email and other details. So perfect. Like yeah,
Go
LinkedIn
ahead, go
works.
ahead and say it out loud, because like I know for me, I'm like an auditory person. So like if I hear it, I'll just immediately start typing into it. I know it's gonna be in the show notes and everything too, but just go ahead and say it out loud for us.
Okay, so first of all, yeah, if you would like to connect with me, you will have to search like I am Somi. My official name is Saumitra Dixit. So you guys can search that on Google, and I'll be on the top. So I'm the founder of Fiverl. So Fiverl. It's an SEO marketing agency. We specialize in e-commerce and SaaS applications. So perfectly, you can search for that. And yeah.
All right. Thank you, Somi. Joe, and then we'll wrap up with Brown.
So I actually love what Brown had said about when he's talking about consistency, how there's someone out there waiting for you to put your content out. Because that took me back to like I'll get comments over my followers going, "Hey, where have you been? We've been looking for you." And I'm like, "I've been here, but you just haven't been here enough, apparently." And that really hit me, especially with the community that I built. So I really appreciate that being said, because I'd never even considered that aspect of it, which was just that was awesome. That was just a great little piece right there. But you guys can connect with me with my Instagram, Joe Buttice, Buttice 3, or literally anything else is JB Motivation 777 or the Uncrowned podcast.
All right. Thank you so much, Joe. Thanks for being here. And then Brown. Hey, Brown, can you hear us? We, we might have just lost Brown here. So what?
Okay, thank you, Joe. Thank you, Ankita. Thank you, Somi. Also, thank you, Niiamah. One of the things that's been on my mind since we started is that um, uh, this journey, this journey that we are going, that we are on right now, you can't run alone. You can't run alone, and it just brought me into a world where I can connect with others that are also on a part. And it seems like we're also doing the same thing in just different means, but we are all doing the same thing. We might be different continents, different countries, but we're still doing somehow same thing, trying to serve humanity. And that's what basic thing I've learned. Relationships are powerful. We are not alone. That's what I've learned. I've learned so that I'm not alone. And that is why I'm calling on you guys that you need me to come in to volunteer with you. Let's stay consistent. I am there. I am there. I will always try to do as much as I can to, to put in my hands to join you in whatever you're building. So it's me now volunteering myself to you guys that in any way you want me to come into to to be a part of whatever you're building. See me, I'm here. I'm here. So if you want to connect it to me, I'm on Instagram at my brown friend, and also I'm also on Facebook at Brown Mike Ebo EBO Brown Mike EBO, and maybe you want to check out my channel on TikTok, which is the Funny Channel, the Funny Channel. So we're there. We're building. We are building. We keep building. But again, remember, I'm here for you
Yeah.
guys.
Well, thank you, Brown. Like, I actually think that really exemplifies one of the reasons I love spending time with Outliers, because like we tend to be out on our own more than we want to, but then we also end up being givers and really just like having a lot to offer, right? Thank you for offering yourselves. Thank you for offering your stories, your experiences here today. Thank you for being in space with us here and for playing the game that you do. All right, I'm looking forward to your continued success and the way that you continue to uplift the world. All right. Until then, remember this here. Please be you on purpose. Journey on.